Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannons, where you can sign up to be a member of the Shannons Club, your local Holden certified service centre, Pace Farm the enjoyable egg, and Heron Forbes Machinery House, where you can buy online. G'day, I'm Fletch and welcome as I bring you to the Black Hills near Keystone in South Dakota to show you a little of Mt Rushmore, along with some other cool stuff in this week's Classic Restos Stateside. Well, there's no time to be two-faced around here, because up there are 4 magnificent faces. This is just another incredible experience as we make our way across the United States for 2023, and it's thanks to Shannons. This, beyond speech, overwhelming tourist attraction is around 30 minutes drive from Rapid City, South Dakota. In 1927, sculptor Gutzon Borglum designed this and called it the Shrine of Democracy. From 1927 to 1941, the rock picks tapped away, resulting in thunderous dimensions of 4 heads of the United States, all 60 feet or 18 metres high, embossed into the mountain forever. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Honest Abe, Abraham Lincoln. Oh, you might be saying, oh, Fletch, what's this got to do with classic vehicles? Well, nothing directly, but look at it this way. It's all about getting out and about. Now, if you're stateside, you can get on your classic, your bike, your car, or in your truck, and you can enjoy the drive here to this magnificent place, to enjoy that sculpture set on a 1,200-acre memorial park. One of my favourite movie producers would have to be Steven Spielberg. Of course, he's responsible for incredible movies. Down the automotive line, well, we've got Jewel. Another incredible movie of Steven Spielberg's was, of course, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And we're actually on our way now to Devil's Mountain, and the roads here that we're on at the moment were used actually in that movie, the making of the movie, all around this area here. So yeah, it's pretty surreal to be here. Here in Wyoming, standing proud behind me, Devil's Tower. Over millions of years, erosion of sedimentary rock exposed Devil's Tower and accentuated Little Missouri Buttes. The tower rises 867 feet from its base, 1,267 feet above the river, and 5,112 feet above sea level. The area is huge. Its teardrop-shaped top is 1.5 acres in area, and the diameter of its base is around 1,000 feet. Just leaving Denver, Colorado now, going up to see a lady by the name of Amanda. She's got a bit of a car collection up in the mountains. Quite interesting. We're already around 5,000 feet in elevation in Denver, and we're going up through the mountain range now. We're currently at 5,800 feet, and our final destination is going to be 10,000 feet. So let's see what awaits us at this car collection on this property. Well, it's quite amazing, we've come up that massive mountain range, and we've got another 5 or 6 kilometres to go at this stage. We've just come into a plain and taken a side road, and the temperature variance has been unbelievable. We went through a patch, went down to 33 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're back up to 46 degrees now, just in the in the last 5 miles that's happened. So this is obviously snow country here. In past years, the blizzards start coming in around about this time. We're a bit earlier this year, so enjoying some sunshine. Incredible weather this trip. Almost a month here now. At this point, 6,000 miles travel, around about, say, 10,000 kilometres. And the weather has been perfect all the way around from Dallas, right around in an anti-clockwise direction, right around to this point here now in Denver, Colorado. What an adventure. We're now in Amanda's driveway. We are literally in the middle of nowhere.
When I was a kid, I loved cars. Still do. The 57 Cadillac Eldorado Brougham was the most advanced car in the world. Cost more than a Rolls. Hand-built with a stainless steel roof, cruise control, electric seats, and would you believe, air suspension. American iron. It's a passion Shannons understand. That's why they insure my daily drive, the caddy, my bike, even the house.
Call Shannons on 13 46 46. Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts.
When it comes to cars, there are some brands that will remain with us forever, no matter what. The Holden was always Australia's own car, held high in the hearts of many. Those lines, that chrome, the stories around them, and the people that owned them. From the classic through to the final, you can still trust in genuine Holden and AC Delco parts, available through the Holden Certified Service Network. We've just driven around 2 hours from Denver here in Colorado to a place that is referred to as South Park. Now, I don't know whether I should be trying to do Eric Cartman's voice here. Perhaps I should be trying to conserve what lung capacity I have, because here is 10,000 feet in elevation. And yeah, you can feel it. And of course, to accompany that, you're absolutely deafened with silence. High on the remote Colorado plains, known as South Park, sits a few hundred acres of ranch land. Adorning this allotment was a car collection that one man gathered of around 1,000 vehicles at one time. The man's name was Jim Gardiner. Unfortunately, some years ago, Jim passed away, leaving his widow, Amanda, to enjoy the metallic scenery. And up here, amongst the peace and quiet, mountain cats and bears may have you watching your back. But this 2,700-acre property is home to some of America's finest automobiles. But a lot have been sold off now. This, what you see, is what's left. And this is Amanda's story. Good morning, Amanda. How are you?
I'm great this morning, Fletch.
You got a paradise here, haven't you?
I do.
Just miles from anyone. You can't hear a thing. The sky is blue. It's typical Colorado here. When's the last time you had some snow, and when are you due for some next?
Well, I can't remember the last time, but it was just recently in the last month or two. And we're expecting it at any point in time. It usually snows on Halloween.
You're surrounded by some incredible cars, and I'd like to point out one thing. Because we're so high up in the elevation here, the sheet metal is incredible. The rust is minimal. The panels are clean. Sure, the paint's faded and they're dented and all that sort of thing, but a lot of the bodies of these cars, Amanda, are in remarkable condition.
Well, that's because it's the climate of Colorado is dry. And they've been here since the 70s. My husband started collecting in the 70s. And they acquire what's called a patina from the weather. They sink into the ground, but they don't really rust. The people who buy these and restore them, they know how to deal with that.
So all these cars are for sale?
All these cars are for sale, yes. And very minimal prices. I don't do value books. I don't do what the advisors tell me they should go for because I'm a wholesale dealer. They buy from me their basic materials to begin to build something that's worth a lot of money when they're done.
And the thing is, too, you're making someone's life happy as well because these cars get another life. The new owners adore them, and I can see a lot of potential here when I look around at these vehicles that some of these cars I'd like to think will make it back onto the road one day.
Oh, they do, and I get pictures from people who have restored them. And a lot of people nowadays are just clear coating. They're keeping the original patina, original paint job as it is here in the field, and that's kind of neat.
We talk about it a lot lately on Classic Restos, which way to go. Restoring, back to a shell, full respray, or do we keep them as we find them? We give them a bit of a scuff, hit them with a coat of clear, do all the mechanicals and leave that original look. It's a personal choice.
Right? There's people who have bought from me and they replace all the rubber, the gaskets, the hoses, things, and are able to replace the fluids and start them right up.
I reckon most of these engines here, you put some fuel in them, put a boat tank on them and a battery, I reckon they'd run.
And a lot of vehicles did drive in here. When I first came here, this field was very full of cars already. And I love it. One of our pastimes has always been to go and look through the cars. We find all kinds of things, old coins and valuables and things that people left in cars and had no clue.
Under back seats is interesting. A lot of stuff can fall down and go under.
But it's just fun to explore them, and a lot of people come here. They bring their picnic and they stay all day, and they bring their families, and basically it's a escape back in time to the time when they were on the road. And people come and they say, "Oh, my father had one of those," or "My friend had one of those, and I remember riding to school in that," or
So, Amanda, these cars, what do you want to see happen to them? In the perfect world, would you like to see every one of them gone? What's your vision there?
Well, they need to go. Jim collected them because he wanted them he didn't want them to be destroyed. And at this point, I want as many as possible to be bought by people who are going to restore them or use them to build something, a similar car or whatever, however they do it. I would rather sell them to people like that than have them scrapped. But at my age, I have to consider that I can't do this forever. I love the cars. I love to come up here. It's an experience that I never would have had unless I'd come here.
Amanda, we have your telephone number along the bottom of the screen there now, and obviously there with the +1, so people can call you if they need to. And call
and make an appointment with me. I put them in my calendar, and I see only one client a day, and you spend the time you need to spend. I charge $50 for that tour, and when you buy something, you get that in credit.
It is the sort of thing too where it might be a little bit difficult for some Australians because you really do have to be here.
I think yes, you can't. Well, I've had people try to buy them without seeing them.
Off photos, yeah.
I actually did sell a 300 Chrysler, I don't remember what year it was, 70 maybe, to a guy from California who bought it from seeing a picture of it, and he sent a transport company to get it, sent my money, and took it away. I haven't heard a word from him.
There's a 66 Newport just sitting there, and oh wow, I'm surrounded by stuff here. It's incredible. Have you got any favourite cars? What is your favourite makes and models? Amanda, have you got one that's dear to your heart?
Out of the collection, in 2013, we collected all of the 1949 Ford trucks, and we lined them up in a line along my driveway above my house so that every time I go out and I come back, I see their smiling faces, and it's wonderful. I love it.
And that makes you happy.
Yes, and people ask me if they can buy them, and I say, yeah, for a reasonable price, and it's, a major price, because I'm not interested in selling them. I want them.
That's right. You can't put a price on that.
Right.
So, Amanda, thank you once again for having us here. Look around your place, and until next time, you take good care of yourself, okay?
All right. Thank you, Fletch.
I spend a lot of time out here. The RT Charger's the real deal. An E49. Remember A-Charger? I've always got projects on the go, so Shannon's laid-up cover helps protect my restorations. I'm Mopar through and through. It's a passion Shannon's understands. I wouldn't insure my cars and bikes with anyone else.
Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 13 46 46 for a quote.
They may not be making the classic Holden anymore, but the legacy lives on. You can still have a Holden certified service using genuine Holden and AC Delco quality parts at over 180 centres across Australia. Go to holden.com.au to find your nearest centre. Book your Holden in, maintain the pride. And of course, this trip is thanks to Shannons. For more information, visit shannons.com.au or pick up the phone and give them a call on 134646. And of course, the Shannons Club is awaiting you there as well as Australia's largest automotive online hub. Well, Mark, what do you reckon? 10,000 feet, surrounded by nothing but glorious countryside and all these cars.
Mainly American iron, and I'm surprised at 10,000 feet I'm actually breathing as well as I am.
There you go. Yeah, you've got to be kind of extra fit to be up around these parts and, to go through and, not be able to have any impact on your breathing because, we are very high up.
Yeah, and we're just so fortunate that Amanda's allowed us to come in here and, her husband who'd passed away, Jim, I think he had a lot of foresight to save these cars. He didn't want to see them scrapped. He wanted to preserve them for other future generations.
Sure. And that's a lot of the attitude right across the United States. And it's a good attitude to have. They didn't go to the demolition derbies. They didn't go to the crushers. Might be sitting here and you might feel sorry for them, but at least they're still with us in some way. And they are for sale. So that's another bonus as well.
Yeah, I think Amanda said roughly around $1,500 per car, which I think is pretty good. Colorado's a really great place in terms of rust-free metal. The chrome work and the stainless is generally in really like almost new condition. Some of the cars here that I've seen, when I've opened and closed the doors, they're no different to back in the the showroom days. Obviously there'll be glass, there'll be trim, engine work, but you've got the bones of a very good car.
You can be paying up to $700-800 just for a rear bar in some cases. So when you're talking a complete car for around $1,500, when you look at it like that. And there's a lot of parts you can get off the car. It's certainly a cheaper alternative.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some of these cars, the Falcon behind us, Mark, we can see it went out of rego. Well, 1971, that was the last year that the car was on the road. Look at it. It's pretty straight.
Yeah, rust-free. Again, a great thing about Colorado. We had the XK Falcon. That was the first Falcon in 1960, and it was released it was a US car effectively, but here's the two-door version. We didn't get that, but effectively it's the same car.
We look around, we've got that Buick over there with a Vista roof. Yeah. That would have been, back in its day, what a car that would have been.
Yeah, that's, you can imagine, Colorado mountains, all the beautiful scenery, the pine trees and, all that sort of stuff. And you can imagine the kids sitting in the back in the day, looking up through the Vista Cruiser, which Oldsmobile called it that, but the Vista Cruiser roof, and just taking in the scenery.
Mark, the blue 1960 Olds there.
Yeah, beautiful, love it. Really nice car. Just such tremendous. It's got the beautiful tinted glass that they had back in the day, the green glass. I always love that. You watch the old American TV shows and you'd see that on TV.
And too, like around that era of the bubble top with Chevrolet too, and the high windscreen. Look how high the screen goes up into the roof.
Yeah, it's funny. We looked at that Buick LeSabre, and that was the first car with a curved single-piece windshield in 1951. Cars had two-piece windshields before that. Look how far General Motors took it. They really did. They bent the glass every which way just in the name of styling, and I love it.
Okay, well, on that note, Mark, 9 episodes of Classic Restos as we made our way around the United States for 2023. And thank you for being an integral part of that. And it was one heck of a trip. It's not over yet. We still have to go over to San Francisco and drop down to LA. But in terms of the episode content, number 9 is here with Amanda.
I think it was a new record, Fletch, 9 episodes. But it was a terrific trip, and thanks for everything. And it was a lot of miles, but we saw some wonderful sights and some great people and some amazing cars.
The trek across the United States, or should I say the trip around the United States, has been full, comprehensive, and a further reinforcement towards appreciating automotive roots deriving from the United States, and to keep that energy flowing amongst our automotive enthusiast groups. This is also a Shannon's trip, and that shows their commitment as well. For Mark from Shannon's and myself, this isn't our first rodeo. This was our 8th year here. The gloss of the TV episodes may look amazing, but behind the scenes, it takes commitment, stamina, a level of fitness, and the desire to conquer such a trip. It's early starts in the dark, up to 1,000 kilometres driving in any one day. Late night check-ins into motel rooms, and of course the main priority of the trip each year is to bring you the content seen through Classic Restos. Classic Restos is seen on TV in numerous countries every week, and of course online from anywhere in the world. Each year it's great to be able to provide some content from outside of Australia. This is why the episodes from New Zealand each year are as equally as important from that perspective. Each year we choose a different route around or within the United States. The highway systems here are incredible. I don't think we saw one pothole on any freeway. The ability to sustain high speeds hour after hour has you covering ground quickly and efficiently. Equivalent speeds at home are 130 to 140 k's an hour. Cruise control is locked on and you go, hour after hour. The landscapes within the United States are an ever-changing kaleidoscope. The landscape is changing like every 30 minutes almost. There is always something to see, from going through rocky mountains, then out into an open plain, once representing a huge sea floor at one time, through a green belt of endless trees, out into lush farming land. The view through the front screen and side glass never ends. When we travel, it's the people we meet. It's a chance to catch up with our regular friends that we see each year. And each year, it's also time to meet new friends that remain that way forever. It's a bond between both countries that can never be separated. This year in 2023, the General Motors 5.3 litre V8 Suburban, complete with a 10-speed transmission, did an amazing job at over 2.5 tonnes loaded gross vehicle weight. It was luxurious to drive and economical as well for what we as travellers received in return from the vehicle. Paying more for a luxury rental vehicle makes perfect sense when you are covering big distances and working. You have to be comfortable. The 2023 journey had us begin in Dallas, Texas, through Louisiana to Jackson, Mississippi, on to South Carolina, into North Carolina, up to the Carlisle area and Hershey of Pennsylvania, then working west to Ohio, north to Detroit, dropping down across Illinois, into Iowa, onto South Dakota, then ending our episodes in the Denver area of Colorado. Outside of filming for Classic Restos, Mark and I are continuing another 18 hours drive west to San Francisco, then dropping down to LA for our flights back to Australia. The 2023 United States trip has comprised 18 wonderful states out of the 50 that are here. Around 13,000 kilometres will be driven, and it has been an absolute pleasure, once again, thanks to Shannons, to have featured these past 9 episodes as a special for you on Classic Restos. This trip had warmer temperatures than past years, and to be honest, I didn't think we'd see snow. But making our way across now to San Francisco to drop down to LA to get our flights back to Australia, I just had to share this with you. Around 32 degrees Fahrenheit this morning, and we're just east of San Francisco by about an hour and a half. And this snow cover here is just really nice to see. Got the North American pines there covered in snow. And it's such a contrast, different environments as you cross the United States of America. You have your deserts, you have your green belts, your Rocky Mountains, everything in between, and of course some snow as well. Well, from Dallas in Texas, right around to the Salt Flats here at Bonneville, Utah, that wraps up the trip around the United States for 2023. And of course, it was thanks to Shannons. I hope you really enjoyed the episodes. Until next week, no matter where you're watching Classic Restos from, please ride and drive safe. I'm Fletch. Thanks for watching.
You can like and follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Classic Restos TV and watch catch-up episodes at shannons.com.au.
Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannons, where you can sign up to be a member of the Shannons Club, your local Holden certified service centre, Pace Farm the enjoyable egg, and Heron Forbes Machinery House, where you can buy online.